Ryanniag Ti Ilocos Sur, programa ngagserbi kamang kenrang tayo iti gobyerno probinsyal. Lalo na, iti beneg iti sanggo niyang panlalawigan ti probinsya ng Ilocos Sur. Mangted tinanay ng informasyon kadag iti programa, proyektos, tulong ken mga sistir kadag iti agproblema nga OFW ang kalugaran tayo. Ryanniag Ti Ilocos Sur, tinagaget, Produktibo Presiding Officer, the busy Governor of the Province of Ilocos Sur, Ryan Luis Singson, our main anchor, Ken Lito Javier, our co-anchor, Ryanniag Ti Ilocos Sur, at tuyen nagsubli ngagserbi kada kayo, agsipod tada kayo ti inspirasyon mi, Ryanniag Ti Ilocos Sur, da kayo ti inspirasyon mi.
Hello, good morning, 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 good morning. Po, kumusta ti biag? Kumusta kayo amin po? Ilocos Sur yan. Welcome, Ryanniag Ti Ilocos Sur. Da kayo ti inspirasyon mi. Sapay-sapay lang kumatay, tipiakin karad ka. Da kayo po dito sa ngwanan television nyo. Through Ilocos Heritage sa channel Facebook Live, ipalo da kami apo, i-share da kami. Gagayem ken kakabsat. One, pakishare lang po. Ken kastabit 10, iti biyang po ti Eagle Vision Cable TV. Ayan. Medyo nag-i-improve ang Eagle Vision ngayon kasi dati-dati ket dati simple lang nga cable tatana po ket fiber. Yeah? Nalawag tilinyadan papagayang. So daya po niya tama mo yung amin do daya Eagle cable idi ke kunting angin laeng ke nakiraya so idi pangriri namang training idi. Kakasi ni karang nagsungsong bat, ha? Baga na nga wanti mo ubrana. Oh, gayam di cable, tayan na. Tataghanan. Apay naka-fiber na jay dayan? Nasukatanan. So may lang awan reklamunan. Tayan. So daya po ora siya pinasukatak kasi dandaning jak malasin. Dayay reception na nawanan. Talagan. Katatang medyo okay yan. Napindasan. Thank you Eagle Vision Cable TV mamonitor ko na po amin nga programan dito'y Ilocos Heritage lang Facebook Live pati TV. So paki-share lang po kami. Follow na kami mga kaibigan. Tapno tigas na po at least kahit papano makapag-inandi kayo talatamat. Iti na ito po nga programa tayo. Ryanniag Ti Ilocos Sur, programa ni Apo Vice Gobernador Ryan Singson, papagayam, Huwebes tata, 23 ti mabilang, Apo, baliktadam, 32 days langan before Christmas. Yan. Piyesta di taili ti Santa Catalina, itatapo ti Grand Parade. Buyayin yun to, into no bigat, may pabuyan to neta mga kaibigan. Konforminto niya nga programa iti pakaipabuyan na then adapo ti marching band competition inton no madamdama inton no rabii Dep Ed Night papagayam ya Dep Ed Night inton no rabii apo ket ya kamo no yung schedule ni Apo Vice Gobernador Tomat nga mapampumasyar di Santa Catalina iti dito umay nga panagpesta data din nagpatpatang kami ken Apo Mayor Plong Rapanot addan to schedule kuna na nga umay na dito kuna na one. Kastama di taili ti Santa, po Mayor Popoy Bueno, piyesta yumat niya, inton no, 25. Anapay tigpesta, ati 25. Ay, di taggay, happy fiesta in advance taggay, Apo Kapitan Arceli Nabor. Talaga, kaya tanda kalata di ta aggay, Apo Kapitana Seli. Ya, nangabak ka manan. Congratulations. Ken inton no 26. Apa kito no 26 kay piyestada mo di paeng kara. Ya. Awanti agpasinanglaw. Ya. I-remind mo malay mo kay nadars ti online sinanglaw tata. Malay mo. Yan Ma'am Training. Hangos to. Happy Fiesta Ma'am Training in advance. Kay ni Ma'am Blesa. Ore kay no awan ni Ma'am Training, when awan ni Ma'am Blesa no ni Alex ti Agsagana, apay gidin. Advance happy fiesta dita paing bantay apo da kay amin ditan ngawan labas nan dai kiti barangay official sino kapitan nyo tatta dita dai dati nga sekretaryo ya number 1 mat natin ulitin ko dita ni retired Lieutenant Anselmo Padre so may number 1 tatta kaya dai kitay kakabagyan dita na halos kakabagyan tay maamin tapaing kay musta kay amin na po happy viewing kada kayo apo ngawan iti labas na tinato yung oras sa akin kanito. Anyaman nga suli po, itilobong tiyan nyo, importante, ada connections tayo para may pagmamahalan ika nga mga kaibigan. Ganon ho yun. Ha? Okay? Alright! So that's it mga kaibigan. Kaya anya pa yapo, dagiti issues tayo. Kumusta kayo apo? Dita parte na iti Middle East, especially Israel and dita Lebanon. Po, gasin nyo, kung kontar na gitay pada nga media, adugayam tinapapatay nga media dita. Tanapaspasarakan da po nga napabantuan ti missile papagayam, dagiti media nga coverage. Kasta kami ti trabaho ti media apo, ag coverage da, gagayam kina po kailan. Dinudta ayan ti gulo, di jayda, dinudta ti ayan iti big news, di jayda. Narigat ti biyag, tusto nga media, hanga maturog, halang nga gigyan ti opisina. Di kitay media practitioner po nga agpipil, kakasi da piman. So dayta, may sarita. Ada ti ceasefire 4 days, di jay Gaza Strip, tapno ti kastak at makastrike apo, di gito'y taraon, mga kaibigan. Ngam kunamat ni Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, tuloy latakano apo iti gubat, mga kaibigan. Tuloy ti gubat inggana nga mangabak iti Israel. Apo dayta ti riga natatan. Wala na yan. Dito lang. Amuyo di jay, kasi ti karigat ti gubat o beng, kasi ti karigat ti gubat, ultimo danom, awan. Pag-iin nagawan data danom gayem. Dagitoy nagbaba nang atataw dagita. Dagi baba nang nakabakwait dan manugasok nga ribo. Dagi napapanglaw, dagi awan ti kaya nga papanana country. Awang kwarta na nga nakasagana, awan. Ore pe nga tano da kwartam di bangko kas nakin di Lebanon idi, di amamo di Lebanon. Di amamo di Lebanon idi. Guba di mga kaibigan. Kaya dagawid. Taga-paratong na jay, kalugaran ni James. Kaya dati agawid, ngam, handa may withdraw gini kwartada. Apay, papagayam, awan ti dolyar nga pagsukat, awan ti US dollars. Handa mo tapo nga iawid na gijay ribo-ribo nga Lebanese manida. Apay, hamba nga may sukat dito Pilipinas. Useless. Useless mga kaibigan. So nga di jay apo, nagngatot suka dolyar. Ngunti problema lang, handa ba mayawid? Awan apo. Inclose iti bangko ti withdrawal. Hamba nga mabaling nga withdraw. Siyempre, manabtog mat ekonomiyada. Kas jay gagayem ka na po kailan apo ti sitwasyon. Di jay tatta. So nga do tinatrap. Kahit dapay lang nga po duwa nga Pilipino under hostages, yung tikayat ni Prime Minister Netanyahu, kahit mapalubusan dagijayen, mga 50 nga hostages, papagayam. Kaya po, ngaman na nga kaya tapong isarting tigubat, napilwan laki nga ruden. Ipakita da dagijayen lugar nga napulbos di Gaza, sus Mariosep, kasla marawi mo laang, karkarupay, nagdarakkel nga building, narumek, biyag ka pa inukas jay nya dagiti robols sa may tupak kenya mo dagiti may talsik laking kapo nga dagiti baggiing nga sakit pa nyan tulak dagiti nagdrakkel nga bat-bato dagiti naborbor nga beam kada hollow block sa grabe. So di jay nakita ka po bubuyak idirabi papagayam kasi nabayagak kami nga pong hanga nagbuya ti news talaang dirabi sos impokos da grabe ultimo danom. Nakastrek ti may nga 16-wheeler niya, handa pa ikiding impaturayan nga ni-discarga, no di nag-iinnagaw dalatan, mga kaibigan, konforme na po, di may taray dalatan, nga danuman, nagitay bottled water. Di ko na, kita nyo, di pagilian ti nga Pilipinas, oring no kasano kinarigan ti panagbiag tayo, ti importante po, nabuslon pala, danong nga inuman tayo dito, hangkade. Di pagyamyamanan ti tapo Diyos sa namarswa, so nga, hangko kaya ita guba, mga kaibigan, bantalatan, makamu dagiti leaders tayo, makipatang, kaligitan yaman nga problema. Kasi nung nagguguba tayo, aglalo kanya tayo dito Pilipinas. May salaang nga po nga pitik, no dalat ko man dati agin loloko when ko na tayo nga pangtawag mo na yan, mangignite iti saan apo nga nasayaat ay sus grabe mga kaibigan, manabsot tayo manuma lang tamay sa duwa, ikan na lang ti may nga missile, duwa nga missile, talo nga missile lapo ti Pilipinas awanon. Papagayam. Numuno data China, agkadwa dapat apo ti North Korea, mga kaibigan. Kasanungay. Di ba? No sumiklab ti guba di parte na ti Taiwan. pati na tayo damay, papagayam. Dito West Philippines sila una, so nga, hindi na minsan nagpatrolya po tibiyang ti Philippine Navy, ken iti US Navy, dita tangatang, tapos nakita na po, nagitay Chinese vessel niya, nga bumumbuntot kada kwa, ken pati nagitay aircraft iti China. Kitain nyo, kas iti ka risky na tata, nawang pasensyam ngay, for example ngay, handa nga, ada timang riribok, nga unidentified plane, nga mang tinag ti bomba ti maysa nga Chinese vessel ngay, wenuhaan, ada ti mang paratupot, mang machine gun ti maysa nga vessel dita, both side, mga kaibigan. Sos, Mario Joseph, gubaten manumulaang, isang pitik lang. So nga tibiyang nga po ti Philippine community, iti Intel community, isap kada amin, istriktaran dati panagsarek apo ti Chinese national ti pagilyante nga Pilipinas, agsipunta na kadado dati Pilipinas. Da kita estudyante, da kita apo negosyante, da kita apo turista. Ado ti kita kunato apong illegal entry iti pagilyante yo. Ngem anya ti rason no apay nga kaya dang istriktaran da kita. There are so many reasons, mga kaibigan. Idi apo napasamak ti World War II, ano ba din nangyari? Nagado nga in patulod iti Japan nga estudyante, researcher, di Amerika, di Hawaii, ken kadagiti daddo mga country apo nga sinakop da. Idin-declare ti gubatan iti US, mga kaibigan, anong nangyari? Dagiti estudyante na po, isudagayam apo kat officers, young officers apo iti military, amudan na imapadaamin nga sumusumrakandan. Same as true, itata, mga kaibigan. At dapat may limod tayo ti pagilyante nga Pilipinas. Awan, no gumatang tayo apo ti armaments, gumatang tayo apo ti high sophisticated weapon, aircraft, barko man, whatsoever man, no damay donate ti pagilyante nga Pilipinas, papagayam. Awan may limid, apay, may publicize amin apo ti biyang iti media, may public amin na kita. Sino nga rod, papagayam. At dapat ipagawaan apo iti bala kada paltog ti Pilipinas. Meron na di bataan. Amuda amin na kita. Hangakas na kada giti. Hangakas na di China. Hangakas na di North Korea nga. Awang makastrak. Diba? Recently, kay patpatayab na lang nga po iti satellite surveillance rocket na di tangatang manon. Itibiyang nga po ti North Korea. So nga ito ko na ka po nugubat. Ore pa no mano-mano, kasla ko madyan napasamak ki Ukraine, mano-mano. Kasla ko madyan napasamak apo di jay parte na ti naganan, di jay gubat, jay parte na ti kwapo, parte ti Israel, tata. Ore pa no mano-mano, gasam na kita, missile, rocket, nga tumayab, mga kaibigan. Dangan rod, pangabak tayo. Dangat kasi tayo. Di kita tangke nga nagpipigsa. So, nagkita ti problema ti tata. This is not only internal problem but external. Worldwide problem, mga kaibigan. So, tilang mangkulita po, mangpabilag ket. Kailangan mapabilag lang nga po iti kinnamayet ti aming nasyon nga miyembro po ti United Nations organizations kan sabi na po ti NATO, papagayam. Tamok nga kayat apo iti guba dagitoy ngam no man adda ti madangran nga maysa nga kaalyado dagiti problema. Kasalayan di napasamak ki Ukraine. Anong nangyari? Nagbati nga Ukraine. Unexpected iti biyang apo iti Russia. Naman kasi nagadumat apo iti tumulong, NATO ken iti member ti UN at dadama amin dita, mga kaibigan. That's the problem talaga. Iti biyang ti US, amo tayo, kasla ko matatak, tagsubsubli apo iti langan-langan iti Pilipinas ken US. Not like Duterte, China apo ti ipre-praise na idi, tatak, nagsubli ti US. Aglalo, kagapo ni Presidente di United States of America, mga kaibigan, Hawaii. Kita yo, agsubli na close family ties iti biyang ti US. Ken iti, numang pagbagada po nga ti US ket durugista reta, guba lang ta muna, pakialamero kung kunada, ewan ko ba kung bakit, adadalang at history, Alos tintaramente nga lubong, at damot apo iti yanaganan, adda tidaday ko natayo apo nga dayay military bases da. Tila Pilipinas tinapukaw dayay military bases ngem after the military bases dita Clark mga kaibigan adda nagitay ko natayo apo nga military training so iti balikatan. Ngem tatakit agsubsublimat tan. Tay di na minsan gat naglanding matiya apo daytoy Navy aircraft papagayam niya kada nagitay US Navy vessel. Oh, DJ Clark meaning agsubsubli iti depensa iti US iti pagilyante nga Pilipinas. Which is true. Nausar tayo dita during the time of ni Apo Ferdinand Marcos Sr. Nagbalintay ko mga komunista no awan na po ti US bases dito pagilyante nga Pilipinas nagdakkel apo dayta nga tulong ya tatangay dadta West Philippine Sea adda ba issue ti West Philippine Sea kadagiti nga panawan ya adda ngam data Scarborough Shoal idi ya ken data Sabah claim dagi lang idi awan sa Bali tatta mga kaibigan halos inter West Philippine Sea na po issue meten nga mga kasta ti kabrutal idi awan iti madamag nga dagitay agaramit ti struktura dita awan di ba nakita da ngamin mga kaibigan nga dagi Palawan dagi Malampaya dagi Palawan deta narugyan di tiempo ni Ferdinand Marcos sa naka-extract tayo na po ti nakadaado nga langis titan papagayam nakita da ngamin dayay tapos nag-boring test da pay apo dagita nga luglugar kita da adu ti potential dita gasem dayay nya naturog ngamin apo ti gobyerno tayo. Hamang ngamin nga naiderdiretso na kita mga kaibigan. No, naiderdiretso ko, makinisol ko, priority ko mama. Dagi si Maron nga presidente, da Cory, da FBR. Niso ko in priority da ko marita idi. Ya, nai-expand ko mati Malampaya kada amin nga resources tayo ko marita idi. Di awang ko matati problema siguro. Nga binaybayan naman sa bali man. Nagiti mo agila lako ti property. Mario Joseph, ada property tayo Japan, napanda in lako, ada property tayo nuclear plant mga kaibigan, napanda in lako yung North Korea. Di malang gila lako ngamin tumubra nagpaba nang matinobobrada dagiti nakijas king no daddo ka tayong mawatan nung ti kaya nga mangyari ti pagilyante nga Pilipinas apo dagiti nagtuturay sapay la ko maatahan tayong ma-experience etan papagayam niya manong nga tawon na po 100 years mga kaibigan nga napalabasan gagayam ka na po kailan hanan kuman nung babalinan na po antay nga kayatin na po ti makigubgubaten mga kaibigan ya kita nyo internal problem tayo nga po tibiyang CPP-NPA di tayo pa nga masolba-solba ingana tata na tayo pa ni Juma Sisunan kita nyo kadupe lang nga po ti panatikunan dita so dagita ko mga po ti dapat nga kita hantay nga makisawsaw nga mas apol nga ikan tayo apo iti boundaries kuna ni presidente dagiti magustuak man mga kaibigan ya napigsa natangken yung boses na any single inch any single inch mga kaibigan ore may sa pulgada lang nga po nga sovereign nga panakabagi ti pagilyante nga Pilipinas han nang itulok nga mapukaw very good deta ti presidente ya so nga nakapimpintas dagita nga manggan pagpapigsa ti rik na dagiti lumugar siyempre habang nga kang kantam dayay lupang hinirang kay ang mamatay ng dahil sayo dayay mo't apo di ba pagpangpapigsa tayo iti moralidad dagiti soldado siya I am Philippine Army Reservist kasi nagtaposak apo ti ROTC nagturposak pa apo ti Navy Reservist da kami kada po vice gobernador mga kaibigan bali duwa po Navy and Army apay kinayat ko because I want to serve my own country ya hangkin di nga no dumteng ti tiempo ti gubateng na tumarayak taon kaputad da ti gatang ko ti plane ticket kaun mapanak tomat di American or di Australian no mga kaibigan yeah? I want to serve my own country and I want to die my own country mga kaibigan kasjay kita nyo na po Marcos di na tayo haway nga ti request na nung palubusan lang ko ba yeah? May tabunak di jay pagilya na Pilipinas kuna na mga kaibigan so dagitoy mga kaibigan niya narigat dagitay naka-experience sa po ti gubat digi Mindanao dagitay soldado police PC dagita na mestra dagiti naka-experience sa po iti gubat digi abroad Iran, Iraq, Kuwait. Di Kuwait idi, di ikit ko mga kaibigan. Eksakto idi apo nga invasion of Kuwait idi. Nagnagnada po. Nagatidog nga disyerto, mga kaibigan. See, can you imagine that? Awam makan, awam mainom. Hidamo, nakadado di luggage da, left and right. Hindi nakatingada, wanan, may san. Hindi ko, nandani da dumanon di borderen, mga kaibigan, da lang lopo dan. Apaya, imbati dan na po, di disyerto, guyuden dan. Nga na dadadang sunan. Ano ba, kaya? Ganon na. So nga, karkaragtele nga po, sapay lang kumatahan nga maignitan, haan na po nga masendyan ti pabelo, ti guba dita West Philippines. Nakita tayo matan, as we experience, nagguba na lang nga po di Ukraine, Russia, nagpangato iti crudo, ti presyo. From 30 plus to nagbali na po nga 80. Di manong pwede diya. Di ko, dadtamanan. Israel. Sa bagay, nabayag deta mo tag, din natin Israel, ubing pala na tao, Israel war deta, mga kaibigan. Tatad, dapat na ramraman manan. Houthi, makiraman naman na po. Dagita, terorista mo dagita. Adda iti hinayjak da po nga nagana na yan. Digito'y kakaslada piratan nga well-trained. High power apo ti palpaltog da. Dapat dapat datay propelled grenade da, mga kaibigan. Sniper gun da kadaglalok. 17 seaman or crew iti may sa po nga barko, mga kaibigan, nga cargo vessel. Kanagiya po kay pag suspetsyan da nga cargo vessel nga kuwa ti Israeli. Yan, amin nga cargo nga mapagsuspetsyan nga kuwa ti Israeli. Talagang harangin da di jaya po, genti Dead Sea nga makon ko na. So leta ti may sakadag iti problema, nadagdagan man ti problema, no kasano apo ti makibinggel, kasano apo ti makipatang, ano sayat, kadag ito ya po nga tattao, mga kaibigan. Hay, nagrigat, nakadado problema ya. Apo kailian, kita nyo man lang sitwasyon. So nga, dati ti pagilan tayo nga Pilipinas, apo, lalayngan tayo, hantayo apo nga datay kadia. Dila conformity mangyari, mga kaibigan. Sobra, hantay ka di nga naynayunan ti politika. Sobraan ti politika. Tapos na ko na niya po, Senador Aimee, tadadag iti congressman nga nangaramid ti resolution nga umanamong da ken porsigido da po nga ag-investigate iti biyang iti ICC dito pagilian tayo nga Pilipinas. For what for? Kuna naman. Umuusad naman ang ustisya sa Pilipinas. Tingnan nyo si Senador Laila de Lima, napakawalan na. Di ba? So, stoma, mga kaibigan, kasi awan ti dignidad ti pagilian tayo nga Pilipinas na po, awan ti, adat ti sabaling legal officer nga may agkwad to'y, ag-investigar, kadig iti napalabas nga killings. Ang problema lang kasi dito, kasalamat tibiyang iti korte, kung walang witness, ibabasura yan yung kaso. Pwede kang mag-file anytime. Ngayon kung nga rod, kasi mag-prosper yung kaso, kasi siyempre, masapol mo ti witness. Di ba? Di mo mabaling nga paulogan na po yung sa timang witness ganyan. Ado ati kakasta nga talaga, mga kaibigan, nga, siyempre, deeper investigation. Ngayon ti kapintasan na kumadita kung mangyari. Kasi lang mga mag-style Amerika, hindi nunana, no dira pasama nga krimen, let the PNP investigate, dati kasla kuma jurist da diyayen, mga kaibigan, i-presentar namin sa bayda nga i-file yung kaso di korte. Kaya medyo makita da nga datay awan mo baso na handa pa di nga ipapile yung kaso. Pakawalan da pa din, mga kaibigan. Kasi ngayon dito Pilipinas, mga kaibigan, mabuting daw nga main. So ti Brian dan tap nawan ti problema ti pulisan, i-file da di kason. Latan makamunto di korten. Ipasa da di korte ganon. Ti problema ngamin hindi ka naglablabas, dagiti drug war idi, apo kailian, ado ti na-involve ngamin apo ta. Siyempre pulis mat apo dagitay nikkan iti naatasan, antay malibaken nga nagdalos da mo dito pagiliante nga Pilipinas. Yun lang kasi problema sa ngayon. Ado pa'y matapo, tinapasamak titi probinsya tayo. Gamte ko na nga rin na, matapo niya. So nga, di kita tatatrigan na. Hindi, dapat sana, hindi tayo kasi involved sa mga illegal na yan, mga kaibigan. Kailangan ma-involve tayo sa mga magaganda at mga katiwasayan. Apay kami nga sumbrak kami ti legal drugs kada ko agad sa kay problema kaslayo lang ang kanunungan na kita nga Mario Joseph kayo. Nasisya na ilaban nyo to nga karbangan na kita tao, wag lang yung mga involved sa illegal drugs. Kasi kanya kada may nagpatulong ide. Alam mo ba nga jay nilakay mo ka tiso timay sa kada kita yung gitud-tudot ti hangom umno ide. Nasyat aki di atan damot pinatay nilakay mo o tatanya na pasamak. Ya. Awanan, na umaandan lakay mon, o tatay, pinatiliw da. Ganon, mga kaibigan. Ya? Mario Joseph, pa-asset kayo kang paidi, gayam, da kayo mataglalakot illegal na droga. Kaya yun lang madadal, matay ka na kita kalaban nyo. Tata, sumaruno, da kayo malagayam iti pataray. So, da kita mga kaibigan ngamin. So nga, okay man ko ng Senador Aimee, may hostisya naman, may gumugulong naman na hostisya dito sa Pilipinas, bakit pa? Kung nanangarod mga kaibigan na makikialam yung mga international sa atin, parang wala na tayong dignidad kung nanangarod. Tama po yun. Okay? Alawan na po, programa Ryanniag Ti Ilocos Sur, gagayam ka na po kailan. Fiesta di Santa Catalina, mangrugita tapo, Grand Parade, then danto DJ mapasamak nga competition. Tatakit Coffee Festival palain niya. Okay. Inton no Saturday mat, sumtumat apo ti panagpipili iti federasyon, iti sanggo niyang kabataan, iti probinsya. Ni Victor Singson Lataretan, awan sa balin. Ganda gito lang no sinunto nagiyad dayay, di gilay na apda mga kaibigan. Okay po mga kaibigan, agsubli kami to apo, kalpasan lang nagiti palagip, dito'y Master Control, ayan ni Kara.
Problema yung kani iti panangalat ti student driving permit, renewal iti lisensya ngagmaneho, ken panang-upgrade iti restriction code dagiti lisensyayo. Solbaren dagiti nga problema yo iti RX Driving School. Ti RX Driving School ket accredited iti LTO ng eskwelaan. Amang ipaay kadagiti sumaganad. TDC wenno theoretical driving course. Kasapulan daytoy kadagiti mangalat ti student permit. PDC wenno practical driving course paramat kadagiti mangala iti non-prop wenno professional driver's license. Upgrading iti restriction code paramat kadagiti mangnayon iti mabalinda a manehuen ken ti special driving course paramat kadagiti kayat na tagsursurong agmaneho ti motorsiklo, tricycle, four wheels, manual or automatic kenda dumapay. Naanos ken nalaing dagiti driving instructors da nga accredited iti LTO. Dito'y 2nd District, masarakan ti RX Driving School iti National Highway, Barangay Tablak, Candon City, abay iti Sacred Heart Medical Laboratory. Dito'y mat 1st District, masarakan ti RX Driving School, abay mismo iti LTO. Dita poblasyon is San Ildefonso, Ilocos Sur. Ken dita probinsya ti Ilocos Norte, masarakan ti RX Driving School iti along the National Highway, Barangay Kalagit, Batak City, sango ti Ilocandia Cultural Center ken Mariano Marcos Memorial Hospital. Asideg iti mismong LTO. No lisensya ti panagmaneho, ken nasaya ta pagsusuruan ngagmaneho, RX Driving School iti papanan. Para tadadong informasyon, tumawag uno ag-text kayo iti 0917-578-3132 and 0917-811-0581. Dito 1st District San Ildefonso 0917-306-3735. Itamot 2nd District Candon City 0917-120-1745. Ken dita Batak City 0917-329-0591. RX Driving School.
agsagsaga baka kaditi sugat. Saan na madanagang taddan ti Advanced Wound Care Clinic ang masarakan ti abay mismo ti Northside Doctors Hospital, Gimod, Bantay, Ilocos Sur. Lahat ng sugat ay pwedeng maghilom. Ang ipaayda ti serbisyo para kadagiti agsagsaga ti ulcer of arteria, lower extremity diseases, diabetic foot ulcer, pressure sores, traumatic wound surgical site infections, ken wound from skin infections. The Advanced Wound Care Clinic katagususar dagiti quality equipment tapno masigurado ang maagasan dagiti sagsagabaan nyo asukan. Mas at-ado ti mayted nga benepisyo ti Advanced Wound Care Clinic musika ket kwalipikado nga member ti PhilHealth. Para tinanang nga impormasyon, tumawag when text kayo ti 0936-920-9941. When message na kami ti Facebook page na Northside Doctor Hospital Advanced Wound Care Clinic. Anya pa lang tiro orayom, ikam ti chance sa tasugat mo nga lumaing babaen ti Advanced Wound Care Clinic.
Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives. Ti kooperatiba ano bayagin nga nagseserbi kadang ti Ilocano iti Amyanan, Luzon. Ti kooperatiba ang manpapaay ti serbisyo, benepisyo, ken mangisakit kariti empleyado ken miyembro na. Ti Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives wano NSCC ket adon tinatulungan na. Babayin med iti namayat alangin-langin ken kooperasyon dagiti miyembro ken mangimatmaton. Adon tinaturoasan ti kooperatiba. Adupay dagiti naynayon ang kasdek akas ti NSCC Farm, Chicharon Processing Facility, Macro Laboratory, kastameten ti NSCC Plaza ken NSCC Business Center. Isungan niya pelang ter orayem makikampingkan iti kadakilan a kooperatiba iti probinsya. The Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives sumana NSCC. Imatmatunan na daytoy ni Dr. Gibina Kenny.
As the heritage province of the North reopens to tourists, it launches the all-new Tour Ilocos Sur app. A quick guide to Ilocos Sur at your fingertips. Find the best tourist spots. Hotels. Bars and restaurants. And authentic Ilocos Sur products and food. Be updated on upcoming events, plus get notified on the important announcements and updates. Available for global download on Android and iOS. The Tour Ilocos Sur app. Historical becomes digital.
Okay, tuloy-tuloy tayo mga kaibigan. Programa Ryanniag Ti Ilocos Sur na kayo apot inspirasyon mi. Padaanan deto'y maaramid tumat nga eleksyon inton no 25 iti SK Pedreten ni Victor Singson apo iti lumaban nga para presidenteda iti probinsya. Adda ba ti lumaban awan samet ti mangmangegkaw nga ni Victor Latana deta sure hit detan mapanti SK sondon sumukat ken ni Bukal Jaya Tabios ison tomat apo kat aglepas tomat ti term na inton no next week mid of November 30 mga kaibigan. E di tomat bigan nginto ma Carlowi Alcatran ison tomat ten apo iti tumugaw di yayen palubos na po Dios. Gagayem ka na po kailan kasi ka talaga po ti set up na niya according to Department of Interior and Local Government. iti biyang mat apo dagiti ABC, kailangan met apo nga malpas da amin iti gelek ingga na apo iti 29 ti kada tunggal munisipyo, and then by December palubos na po Diyos, makapili dan to meten apo iti federated da nga tumugaw to laang dijay. So nga lipasen na pwede tapo nya agpili da pay kasi umuno na pa lang TSK. So by Monday 27, 28, 29 adan to pay mala opisina reta agpili dan to mga kaibigan no siya sinon to apo iti agbalin gagayen. Okay po, alakit nay. BBM update tayo mat mga kaibigan, presidential report ti programa Ryanniag Ti Ilocos Sur. Heto na po.
All right. We're at the end now of what has been a 6-day sojourn in the United States. Of course, you were all there. We started with San Francisco. Napag-usapan na rin natin yung ibang naging events doon. And then we went to Los Angeles. One of my bucket list was to visit SpaceX, which I was able to achieve. Unfortunately, nagkasakit nga si Elon Musk, kaya hindi natuloy yung meeting namin. And now we are back here in Hawaii, and because I insisted that I come and visit Hawaii because I thought it would be a poignant moment for me to come back here as president and to properly thank people like Manong Joe Lasso, to properly thank him for all that they did for us while we were here when we landed here in February 86. Natatawa nga kami na when we landed on this yesterday, sabi namin, nung naglanding kayo dito, ngayon tayo, 777 na aeroplano. Noon nakasakay kami sa transport na C-17 doon sa likod ng yung transport na aircraft nila. Oo, and my father was unwell. So very different circumstances, but it's always a happy time because despite the difficult circumstances of that period, our time here in Hawaii was blessed with people like Manong Joe Lasso and all of the community leaders here, Filipino community leaders here in Hawaii. At talagang yung sinasabi ko, as I said, minsan hindi mapaniwala ng mga tao. Pero ang katotohanan, totoo talaga yung aking sinasabi nang dumating kami rito. Wala kaming dala. We had nothing except the clothes that were on our back. Nothing. We had no money. We had no anything. And they came. And for about the first 2 or 3 months, silang nagpapakain sa amin. Silang nagdadala ng damit namin. Silang nagdadala ng appliances para doon sa Makiki Heights na bahay namin. And then we eventually moved to Kalanaan Ole. Alam nyo ba yung kung saan yung, that's the main street na nasanay na ako, hindi nyo kaya sabihin yun, Kalanaan Ole. But in all that time, and of course, the Hawaiians, ang babait ng Hawaiano. That's why kahit siyempre, malaking hirap sa amin na mapunta rito sa Hawaii. As I said, in very difficult circumstances, we were able to survive because of the kindnesses that were given to us by our Filipino community and of course by the Hawaiians who really welcomed us to the state of Hawaii, to the city of Honolulu. So it's been a bit of a sentimental journey for me.
Thank you, Mr. President. Maris Umales, a follow-up question.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. It's lovely to hear those experiences that you have had. But on a more personal note, apart from the people who helped you and your family during your exile, what else were your fondest memories of Hawaii? What did you miss most? The places that you've frequented. Are you also like a beach person, Mr. President?
Well, you're in Hawaii. You have to be a beach person. So galing naman tayong Pilipinas, kaya parang napunta lang kami sa one of the islands of the Philippines. So it was a big advantage in that sense. What I miss most are the people here. Really. Because, as beautiful as Hawaii is, ganyan din naman kaganda yung Pilipinas. Di ba? May pagmamalaki naman natin. But it's the people. It's the people who are with us and the locals. The locals were always very kind and very gracious. Mga Hawaiano, mga gentle giant yung mga yan eh. They look very intimidating. Ang lalaki nila, at ang lalakas ng katawan. Pero ang babait niyan. They are the kindest people. And they were very kind to us and very gracious to us.
And Mr. President, just to follow up, you mentioned yesterday in your speech in the Filipino community that your mother, upon learning that you will be coming back to Hawaii, mentioned that you should make sure that you go to all the people and thank
Yes.
them personally. Would your mom, the former First Lady Imelda Marcos, have also wanted to join you in this trip?
Oh, yes.
If she were given the chance?
Oh, yes, she would. She would have loved to have come. Just to see all of the people. But if she cannot travel, sabi ko nga kay Manong Jo, sabi ko, ikaw na lang pumunta doon. At pasusundo ka namin and you come here and you come so that you can say hello to my mother. They were very close with my father, but also my mother and the then Ambassador Cocoy Romualdez, the father of our speaker. Malapit na malapit talaga sila. In fact, it was Uncle Cocoy who introduced me to Joe Lasso and to the other community leaders that were here. No, my mother will never forget. Can never forget. None of us can ever forget the experiences that we had here. It could have been worse than it was, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been because of the people. Because
Thank
of
you,
the
sir.
people.
So nang
that were-
hinayang siya na hindi siya nakasama?
Oo nga eh. But she said, make sure you say hello to Joe Lasso. And I asked Manong Joe to make a video that I will bring home and papakita ko sa mother ko.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Nestor Corrales of PDI.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Regarding your visit to the Indo-Pacific Command, sir, what fresh commitment did you get from the United States in terms of helping the Philippines in securing peace in the West Philippine Sea?
Well, again, it's a process. We are in the middle of many assessments, many discussions kung how we can improve our capabilities, how can we improve our coordination with the U.S., not only with the military, but also the political leadership. And that encompassed not only security concerns, but it also encompassed economic concerns. Because the thinking in this day is that you cannot be strong or you cannot be able to defend yourself if you are economically weak. And that is the premise that we are working on. And that's why when we talk about security, napapasama na rin ang mga commitments sa economy, sa investment, sa PPP, mga ganyang klaseng bagay. In particular, the time in San Francisco, for example, the concentration was on tech. Yung lahat, karamihan ng meeting namin was about technology and with tech companies. Bagay kasi nandiyan ka na, San Francisco, Silicon Valley is just nearby. So we were able to do that, and we were able to begin some significant. We were able to come to terms on some very significant projects and programs that we would like to undertake in the Philippines. We talk about it so much, about digitalization, about cybersecurity, and we made a lot of progress on this trip to make that part of our that part of that sector of our economy, that sector of our country, a better one, a stronger one, and a safer one.
Thank you, Mr. President. Pia Gutierrez, ABS-CBN.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, can you tell us more about the investment pledges that you secured during your visit here? What particular sector po are you most excited about?
Well, considering that these were just meetings that were done on the side of the APEC, they are quite significant. Now, perhaps they're not as large in the billions like in the other trips, but they are in the areas that we are very concerned about. And that is in technology, in healthcare, energy, in security. Kaya napaka-importante pa rin. I'm very glad that we had the chance to do this so that we can strengthen our capacity for the Philippines, to make the Philippines a stronger economy, make it more secure, make it more resilient. It's the APEC, is like ASEAN because the aspirations are the same in the sense that we all recognize the necessity of being more connected, of ensuring that supply chains remain robust, to continue to ang malaking napapag-usapan was AI, is how to make sure it's regulated properly. We all know how we can use it, how you can use it for the things that we want. But what about the things, the unintended consequences of such a powerful tool? So that's probably where the discussion is going to concentrate from now on. So that pag ginamit natin lahat ito, hindi natin kailangan na alalahanin na magkakaroon ng unintended consequences na hindi natin ma-mitigate. Ang mahirap is just what I mentioned in my remarks earlier. Ang mahirap is that bago lahat ito. There has not been AI in the entirety of human history. Ngayon lang may ganyan. Kaya we have to very much be careful about the directions that we are taking. That concern has become prevalent also in some of the see, President Biden just signed a document precisely referring to that AI must be regulated, must be monitored and properly regulated. So it's not used for criminal purposes, it's not used for fake news, it's not used for the more undesirable possibilities that AI brings.
Sir, on AI, sir, you said that you want the Philippines to become the center of excellence for artificial intelligence. Were there discussions with tech companies here in the U.S. on how they can help the Philippines achieve that goal?
Well, there were many, some very specific and some more general. And I think one of the areas that we concentrated on are new methods to create an ecosystem that is very useful for startups. Kasi kung technology ang pag-uusapan, kailangan bago lahat eh. So kailangan ma-encourage natin ang startups. Ang problema sa startup, 95% of them fail. But that's the nature of the business. So you have to have an ecosystem that can support that failure rate. Because yung sa 5% that succeed, ilan ang unicorn dyan? And they will pull up the rest of the whole system. So that's essentially what we spoke about. What are the new systems that we can put into place to make the Philippines a center of the emerging technologies? And I think we have met with some really brilliant people here in the United States who are very, very forward-thinking. And palagay ko kaya natin gawin eh. Because in terms of technology, Hindi ito yung smokestack industry that you have to have very large capital investments, you have to buy very expensive machines, you have to have big production lines. Iba ito, it all exists in cyberspace. And that is we have a big advantage in that. Because again, paulit-ulit kong sinasabi, but talagang totoo, is our workforce. Dahil bata yung workforce natin, magaling tayo sa tech. Madali para sa atin ng technology. Siguro, with the talent that we already have in the Philippines, konting upskilling na lang, and we will already be at the forefront of all of these technologies. So that's what we were able to explore. And it goes beyond just the application of technologies. It's also how to open the markets the markets to the different elements of the technology, of the tech industry, such as the experts, the engineers, the coders, all of that. Yun ang ating natutunan. We learned very many things about how the thinking is of the planners in the tech industry and what part the Philippines can play. So we have made commitments for continued discussions so that we can put more detail into this. One of the most exciting ones was the opening of the market and centering the market around the Philippines so that we will become a hub of technology. So that's something that we have looked forward to. This, as you all know, it affects every part of every sector of society. Kaya nandito yung ating NSC and the CS and the Chief of Staff are here. Kasi kasama dyan yung security. It's a big aspect to it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last question on another topic. Ana Felicia Bajo of GMA News Online.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Sir, we just want to know what are your thoughts or reaction on the impeachment talks against Vice President Sara Duterte?
Well, lahat naman kami merong ganyan eh. So I don't think it's particularly unusual. I don't think it's particularly worrisome. There will always be an element that will want to change the results of an election. So of course, binabantayan namin ng mabuti because we don't want her to be impeached. We don't want her to. She does not deserve to be impeached. So we will make sure that this is something that we will pay very close attention to. The declarations of impeachment, parang lahat naman ng presidente ini-impeach. Ngayon, Vice President pa. So I guess it's just a continuing evolution of that thinking na basta ayaw namin dyan, tanggalin natin, impeach natin. Wala naman siguro at wala naman sigurong dahilan kung hindi lang ayaw sa amin. That's not a reason to be impeached.
So, sir, wala pong uniteam crackdown na tinatawag?
Na?
Uniteam crack.
Crack.
I don't think so. Mas tumitibay nga eh. Dumadami yung pumupunta sa lakas, dumadami yung pupunta sa PFP. We are consolidating the unit team. It's actually become bigger and stronger than it was before. So, ayan, wishful thinking. These are the same people that talk about impeachment. They are also the same people that, wala na, nagbaklas-baklas na yung unit team. Hindi totoo yun. Tignan na lang ninyo mga political developments in the past few months.
Sir, last na, how's your relationship with her po? With Sara? How's your relationship?
Excellent. We on a professional level, I have nothing but good things to say about the work that she has done in the Department of Education. On a very personal level, we get along very well because you cannot campaign for how many months was that? We were campaigning together without getting to know each other very well, and it turns out that we are very different in many ways, and we're very similar in many ways. But that makes for a good friendship.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Alright.
Thank you,
Okay.
Malacanang Press Corps.
Maraming salamat.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Agsagsaga baka kaditi sugat. Saan na madanagang taddan ti Advanced Food Care Clinic ang masarakan ti abay mismo ti Northside Doctors Hospital, Gimod, Bantay, Ilocos Sur. Lahat ng sugat ay pwedeng maghilo. Ang ipaayda ti serbisyo para kadagiti agsagsaga ti ulcer of arteria, lower extremity diseases, diabetic foot ulcer, pressure sores, traumatic wound surgical site infections, skin wound from skin infections. The Advanced Wound Care Clinic katagususar dagiti quality equipment tapno masigurado ang maagasan dagiti sagsagabaan nyo asukat. Mas at-ado ti mayted nga benepisyo ti Advanced Wound Care Clinic dusik kaket kwalipikado nga member ti PhilHealth. Para tinanan nga informasyon tumawag when text kayo ti 0936-920-9941. When I message na kami ti Facebook page na Northside Doctor Hospital Advanced Wound Care Clinic. Anya pa lang tiro orayom, ikam ti chance sa tasugat mo nga lumaing babaen ti Advanced Wound Care Clinic.
Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives. Di kooperatiba ano bayagin nga nagseserbi kadang ti Ilocano iti amyanan a Luzon. Di kooperatiba magpapaay ti serbisyo, benepisyo, ken manisakit kadang ti empleyado ken miyembro na. Ti Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives wano NSCC ket adon tinatulungan na. Babayin medit nga mayat alangin-langin ken kooperasyon dagiti miyembro ken mangimatmaton. Adon tinagduruasan ti kooperatiba. Adupay dagiti naynayon ang kasdek akas ti NSCC Farm, Chicharon Processing Facility, Macro Laboratory, kastameten ti NSCC Plaza ken NSCC Business Center. Isungan niya pelang ter orayem makikaptengkan iti kadakilan a kooperatiba iti probinsya. Di Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives suman na NSCC. Imatmatunan na daytoy ni Dr. Gibina Kenny.
Paapugan iti makayayo abuya iti uneg iti pagtaingam. Anyaman nagasapulam kas ti moderno a klase iti silaw kada ti chandelier LED lights ken na dumapay. Kasabay kadagiti agkagapintas a toilet bowl, wall claddings, stainless sa lababo, kastamenten na dumaduma ti klase na a tiles ken na dumapay a materyales agkasapulan ti pagbangon ti balay. Pasyaren ti AC Newborn Home and Builder Center. Nalawa ti showroom da, agkomportable kang agpili ti kayat mo a disenyo. Mabalin pa'y nga isuda iti mag-set up kadagiti gatangin nyo. Masarakan sa Rizal Street, Sulpor, Bantay, Ilocos Sur. Imatmatunan na Mr. and Mrs. Alain Chan. Saanen ngagtaktak mapankan sa JAC Newborn Home and Builders Center.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ann Ganser. I am the Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary in the Department of State's Bureau of International Security and Nonproliferation, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all here today in San Francisco for this momentous occasion, the signing of a civil nuclear cooperation or 123 agreement between the United States and the Philippines. The signing of this agreement marks the culmination of negotiations between our government launched less than 1 year ago. Once in force, this agreement will provide the legal basis and facilitate U.S. exports of most nuclear equipment and material to the Philippines for peaceful uses. The United States is committed to working with the Philippines to expand our cooperation on nuclear safety, nuclear security, and nonproliferation while meeting our shared climate goals, as well as supporting workers and business in both countries. This signing significantly advances our partnership in civil nuclear cooperation with the Philippines, and I must extend my gratitude, our gratitude, to the Philippines for their expedient coordination of this important process. Thank you for joining us all here. I would like to now invite Secretary Blinken to share his remarks, followed by the Philippines Department of Energy Secretary Lotilia.
Well, good evening, everyone. And thank you not only for that introduction, but for steering our Bureau of International Security and Nonproliferation. Mr. President, it is an honor to be with you again. Thank you for your presence this evening, and thank you especially for your leadership on so many of the goals that we share in common for the Indo-Pacific, the region that we share. Secretary Latilia, Secretary Manalo, Ambassador Moldes, thanks to each of you for your partnership in bringing our nations to this moment. More than 70 years ago, the Philippines and the United States forged an alliance based on the shared interests and values of our people. And in the decades since, we've consistently expanded our partnership to meet the biggest challenges that our people face. Today, we take another step to do that by deepening our cooperation to accelerate the transition to clean energy in the Philippines. President Marcos has set an ambitious goal, cutting the Philippines' greenhouse gas emissions by 75% by 2030 and increasing the production of clean energy so that 50% comes from renewable sources by the year 2040. The United States is committed to working with the Philippines so that it can meet those targets, using platforms like the very first U.S.-Philippines Energy Policy Dialogue, which we hosted in Seattle back in August. The United States is working with the American and Philippine private sectors to develop a geothermal power project in Mindanao. We're helping to lay the groundwork for offshore wind projects so that we'll ultimately generate enough electricity to power 2 million homes. We're mobilizing additional investments from American and Philippine power companies with the aim of providing more than half of the Philippines' energy usage through clean sources, like solar, by the year 2026. With the Philippines' leadership, we're also working together to develop a nuclear energy sector in their country to fuel a reliable, secure, and affordable clean energy future. As peak energy demands are expected to nearly quadruple in the Philippines by 2040, nuclear power can consistently produce enough energy to meet communities' critical needs without emitting more greenhouse gases. In a nation of more than 7,000 islands, small modular reactors, some just the size of a city bus, can generate energy locally and conveniently. Nuclear energy will also create inclusive economic opportunities for American and Filipino businesses alike, and good quality, high-paying jobs in both of our countries. All of these are reasons why today we're signing this 123 agreement to create a framework for our civil nuclear cooperation. When Vice President Harris visited the Philippines last November, she announced that we were starting to develop this arrangement. So just 1 year later, we're signing the agreement. And that is the fastest that the United States has ever negotiated this kind of agreement. It is a testament to two things: to the high priority that this issue is for both of our countries, and to how closely we're collaborating. And I just want to echo the gratitude, Mr. President, to your extraordinary team for the work that we've been able to do in such a short period of time. When this agreement goes into effect, the United States will be able to share equipment and material with the Philippines as they work to develop small modular reactors and other civilian nuclear energy infrastructure. And will do so while following the highest standards of safety and security, and while complying with our international nonproliferation commitments. Already, we've organized workshops, we've hosted exchanges on these topics with American and Filipino researchers, officials, business leaders, to help train local experts and to share some of our best practices. Now, there's a lot of work that remains ahead to turn this vision into concrete reality, but by signing this agreement today, we're moving a step closer toward shaping a better future for our planet and building a world that's more secure, more prosperous, more stable for all of our people. And with that, I'm very happy to turn over to Secretary Latilia. Thank you very, very much.
His Excellency President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. In signing the agreement before us today, we revisit an enduring cooperative effort between the Philippines and the United States on harnessing civilian nuclear power for sustainable development. Let us step a bit back for a quick recall. A decade after the first atomic bomb devastated Hiroshima, the Philippines under President Ramon Magsaysay joined in 1955 the Atoms for Peace program initiated by U.S. President Dwight Eisenhower. Building on this foundation, the succeeding administration led by President Carlos Garcia established in 1958 the Philippine Atomic Energy Commission. President Diosdado Macapagal, in turn, initiated in 1963 the pre-investment study for a nuclear power plant in Luzon. The pace of Philippine nuclear power development efforts stepped up under President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. with the signing of a new Philippine-U.S. agreement for cooperation concerning civil uses of atomic energy on 13 June 1968. This agreement superseded the 1955 agreement and, for the first time, explicitly referred to the design, construction, and operation of power-producing reactors and research reactors. 3 days after, the Philippine Congress approved the Atomic Energy Regulatory and Liability Act. In 1971, the National Power Corporation was authorized by law to establish and operate nuclear power plants. The rest is more recent history. A nuclear power plant was built but never operated. The Philippine decision was nevertheless followed by an orderly and safe cessation of activities. More importantly, the 1987 Philippine Constitution remained open to all peaceful uses of nuclear energy. Under the leadership of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the negotiation of the present agreement with the U.S. was made possible, its predecessor agreement having expired in 1998. Every step of the way, the agreement recognizes adherence to standards set by the International Atomic Energy Agency. Beyond nuclear power applications to combat climate change, the new agreement facilitates bilateral cooperation in a wide array of other peaceful uses of atomic energy, all supportive of various sustainable development goals, including plant breeding, livestock production, insect pest control, soil and crop management, water use efficiency, plastic waste disposal, food safety, health, and medicine. And on behalf, therefore, of the member agencies of the Philippine Nuclear Energy Program Interagency Committee, we would like to express our sincerest gratitude to President Marcos Jr. for his support and to our two countries' respective negotiating teams for successfully concluding the negotiations leading to the signing of this agreement. Thank you and congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Thank you, Secretary Lutilla. Secretary Blinken, Secretary of State of the United States, the members of the Cabinet here present, Ambassador Babes Romualdez who has come to join us from Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, good afternoon. I am most pleased to be here today to join you this afternoon to witness another milestone towards a more energy secure and green Philippines. During my first State of the Nation address, I laid out the plans for ensuring an affordable, reliable, and sustainable energy supply for the entire country in order to meet our growing energy demands while providing a more investor and consumer-friendly environment. I called then for the re-evaluation of the possibility of safely developing nuclear energy in the Philippines, recognizing the enormous potential of nuclear energy given the new highly advanced technologies and standards of safety, security, and all the different safeguards that are now in place. We see nuclear energy becoming a part of the Philippine energy mix by 2032, and we would be more than happy to pursue this path with the United States as one of our partners. The signing of the Philippine-United States Agreement for Cooperation concerning peaceful uses of nuclear energy, or the 123 Agreement, is the first major step in this regard, taking our cooperation on capacity building further and actually opening the doors for U.S. companies to invest and participate in nuclear power projects in the country. I know our companies are eager to advance discussions on potential projects. Just yesterday, the MOU between Meralco and Ultrasafe Nuclear Corporation was also presented to me. So I believe congratulations are in order for the work of our respective negotiating teams, especially to the teams from the team from the United States, as I have only just been informed that this is the fastest 123 agreement that the United States has come to, and for that we are very grateful. I look forward to seeing this agreement in action in the years to come. Nuclear energy is one area where we can show that the Philippines-U.S. alliance and partnership truly works for our peoples, our economies, and the environment. Thank you and good afternoon.
I would now like to invite Assistant Secretary Crittenbrink to join us to observe the signing. And Secretary Blinken, Secretary Lutilia, I invite you to sign the 123 agreement. Okay, this concludes our ceremony. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you very much.
That's great work on this.
Your Excellencies, the President of the United States.
Hello, everyone. We're going to extend this conference another 5 days. Good. That's okay. Welcome to the final APIC Leaders session. Over the last few days, we've worked together, and I think that's not hyperbole. We've worked together to find ways to build an inclusive, resilient, and sustainable economies for the Asian Pacific. And we talked about the progress that requires partnership. Together we laid out the work we'll be undertaking to avert the worst impacts of the climate crisis. The U.S. companies have announced more than $500 billion investments into APIC economies to build new subsea cables, decarbonizing energy grids, and complete the largest U.S. airline expansion into the South Pacific in our history. Alongside 13 of our APEC partners who also made historic progress yesterday when the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, with the first of its kind agreements to strengthen supply chains, accelerate our clean energy transition, and combat corruption. As we begin our discussions today, I want to highlight a few areas that I believe we can do even more, in my view. First, inclusive growth. When everyone in our economies has a chance to contribute, everyone gets a fair shot, we all do better. So today I'm proud to announce that we've launched a Women in the Sustainable Economy Initiative. Partners in this initiative have already pledged more than $900 million to increase women participation in blue and green industries like forest management, clean energy, fisheries, and recycling. And if you wonder why I'm so enthusiastic about this, I got more women in my cabinet than men, so I've got to get this straight. But all kidding aside, I think this is a very important initiative, including by creating the first ever facility dedicated to helping women and women-led businesses and organizations in developing countries to gain access to climate finance. We're also supporting programs that expand access to STEM education to address laws that limit women's equal access to land and natural resources. And we plan to invest in young women entrepreneurs in the maritime sector and to scale up these projects as well. I challenge us all to find new ways we can seize the full potential of all of our people. Secondly, interconnected growth and technology. We're going to see more technological change in the next 10 years than we've seen in the last 50 years. I don't think that's hyperbole. I think we're going to see that changing so rapidly. And together, we have to make sure it changes for the better. Matter of fact, Xi Jinping of China and I had a brief discussion about the impact of artificial intelligence and how we have to work on it. Together, we must ensure the change is for the better. We must ensure that the digital technologies like artificial intelligence are used to uplift, not limit, the potential of our people. And that's why earlier this summer, the United States brought together leading AI companies who agreed to voluntary commitments to keep AI systems safe and trustworthy, including the following: committing to independently test and secure the security of their AI systems before these systems are released into the public. 2, committing to watermark content that is AI generated so people know it's been generated by artificial intelligence. Committing to prioritize and minimize the risk that AI systems can pose to society, like promoting bias or discrimination. Just last month, I signed an executive order here in the States to set new AI standards for public and private sector in the United States, such as requiring developers of the most powerful AI systems to share their safety test results with the U.S. government. This is in the U.S. Strengthen technologies to protect our privacy, and preventing employers from using AI to exploit their employers from using AI to exploit their workers. We're also expanding grants for AI research in key areas like healthcare and climate change, which has great potential. But this is a shared challenge and requires shared solutions. And I would respectfully suggest all of us around this table have a responsibility to work together to seize the opportunities and manage the risk of this technology, which are so critical to our collective economic futures. And finally, as I said yesterday, America's commitment to the Asia Pacific is unwavering and, in our view, from America's perspective, essential. I know President Boultre shares this commitment, and I want you to know next year, when the APEC summit hosts, Peru will help drive these economies forward. When we hang out in Peru, the views are going to be nice too. Well, so as we begin our discussion, I'd like to take a moment to pass a ceremonial torch from the United States to Peru. Madam President, thank you, and the floor is yours.
Gracias, Presidente. Thank you, Mr. President Biden. Los líderes aquí presentes, mi saludo a cada uno de ustedes. Perú, el próximo año será APEC 2024. Lo recibimos con alta responsabilidad, pero también con ese compromiso y con ese cariño que solemos decir los peruanos de acá, del Munay, del corazón, para recibir a las 21 economías líderes hoy acá presentes en nuestro querido Perú, para que podamos en el APEC 24 seguir desarrollando lo que el APEC viene haciendo durante todos estos años. Esa equidad del trato entre varones y mujeres, en empoderar a la mujer en el movimiento económico, con respeto en el espacio laboral, social, político, pero también involucrar a la juventud, a los niños, a que sean parte de esta historia que acá los líderes compartimos a través de la preocupación en aquel tema que ayer hemos tratado y ha sido muy importante, el cuidado de nuestro planeta, que es nuestro único hogar que tenemos. Y creo que estas economías hoy presentes, los líderes acá, tenemos esa alta responsabilidad de ir trabajando en ese desarrollo y en esa búsqueda de mejor cuidar nuestro hogar, nuestro planeta Tierra. Queremos esperarlos a cada uno de ustedes el próximo año en Arequipa, en el Valle Sagrado de los Incas, en Urubamba, en la ciudad hermosa y primaveral de Trujillo, en la hermosa Amazonía, la ciudad de Pucallpa, y por supuesto en nuestra capital, Lima, Perú. Ahí cada uno de ustedes nos honrará con su presencia y nosotros lo recibiremos con el cariño de siempre. Sumayatan Yamkasun Cusca. Trabajaremos juntos de la mano todos nosotros para que el APEC el próximo año brille con luz propia desde nuestra ciudad imperial, el Cusco, desde nuestro querido Perú hacia el mundo. Así que sean ustedes bienvenidos el próximo año. Allá los esperamos con el cariño de siempre. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much, President Biden.
Thank you, Madam President. We're looking forward to that. I would now respectfully ask the press to leave, and I will soon turn it over to the International Monetary Fund.
At this time, we please ask the press to quietly depart.
before coming here with Admiral John Aquilino. We had a very productive and useful exchange on regional developments and the critical role of the Philippine-U.S. alliance to promote peace and to safeguard the international law-based order, to ensure resilient, sustainable, and inclusive growth for our economies and our communities. My message has always been firm, simple, and clear. The Philippines will continue to be an engaged and responsible neighbor and partner, always finding ways to collaborate with the end goal of mutually beneficial outcomes, namely peace, stability, and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific region. Number one is securing the peace in the West Philippine Sea. Tensions in the West Philippine Sea are growing, with persistent unlawful threats and challenges against Philippine sovereign rights and jurisdiction over our exclusive economic zone and the continental shelf. Actions that violate obligations under international law, particularly the 1982 UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, and the 2002 Declaration on the Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea. There is rampant, illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing and militarization of reclaimed features in the South China Sea. So I have said it before, and I will say it again. The Philippines will not give a single square inch of our territory to any foreign power. The law is clear, as defined by the UNCLOS, and the final and binding 2016 award on the South China Sea arbitration. I am optimistic from our recent engagement with our American counterparts, including U.S. legislatures and certainly in the executive department, to elevate our partnership and dedicate resources to match our commitments. The second item that I feel is very important is the securing strategic sectors and critical infrastructure, and especially as we have all begun to recognize the importance of activities in cyberspace. We welcome public-private partnerships, particularly engagements between and outside our military and defense establishments. We hope to expand these partnerships in critical and strategic sectors and infrastructure. Our teams are looking to convene the inaugural interagency PHUS Cyber Dialogue sometime early next year to follow through on our commitment to enhance cooperation in the face of new and emerging threats, including completing a full assessment of the cyber threat landscape and the establishment of next steps to counter cyber threats. These challenges will continue to evolve, but I am confident that together we will be able to manage them. Our alliance is stronger than ever because it has been founded on our shared values, our mutual respect and trust of each other as equal sovereign partners, and the unbreakable bonds between our two peoples.
Problema yu kadi iti panangalat ti student driving permit, renewal iti lisensya ngagmaneho, ken panang-upgrade iti restriction code dagiti lisensyayo? Solbaren dagiti nga problema yu iti RX Driving School. Ti RX Driving School ket accredited iti LTO ng eskwelaan, amang ipaay kadagiti sumaganad. TDC wenno theoretical driving course. Kasapulan daytoy kadagiti mangalat ti student permit. PDC wenno practical driving course paramat kadagiti mangala iti non-prop wenno professional driver's license. Upgrading iti restriction code paramat kadagiti mangnayon iti mabalinda a manehuen ken ti special driving course Paramat kadikiti kayat na tagsusurong agmaneho ti motorsiklo, tricycle, four wheels, manual, or automatic kenda dumapay. Naanos kinalaing dagiti driving instructors da nga accredited iti LTO. Dito'y 2nd District, masarakan ti RX Driving School iti National Highway, Barangay Tablak, Candon City, abay iti Sacred Heart Medical Laboratory. Dito'y mat 1st District, masarakan ti RX Driving School, abay mismo iti LTO. Dita poblasyon is San Ildefonso, Ilocos Sur. Ken dita probinsya ti Ilocos Norte, masarakan ti RX Driving School iti along the National Highway, Barangay Kalagi, Batak City, sango ti Lucondia Cultural Center ken Mariano Marcos Memorial Hospital. Asideg iti mismong LTO. No lisensya ti panagmaneho, kinasaya ta pagsusuruan ngagmaneho, RX Driving School iti papanan. Para tadadong informasyon, tumawag uno ag-text kayo iti 0917-578-3132 and 0917-811-0581. Dito 1st District San Ildefonso, 0917-306-3735. Itamot 2nd District Candon City, 0917-120-1745. Ken dita Batak City, 0917-329-0591. RX Driving School.
Agsagsaga baka katitisugat. Saan na madanagang taddan ti Advanced Food Care Clinic ang masarakan ti abay mismo ti Northside Doctors Hospital, Gimod, Bantay, Ilocos Sur. Lahat ng sugat ay pwedeng maghilom. Ang ipaayda ti serbisyo para kadagiteg sagsagaba ti ulcer of arteria, lower extremity diseases, diabetic foot ulcer, pressure sores, traumatic wound surgical site infections, and wound from skin infections. The Advanced Wound Care Clinic katagususar dagiti quality equipment tapno masigurado ang maagasan dagiti sagsagabaan nyo asukat. Mas at-ado ti mayted nga benepisyo ti Advanced Wound Care Clinic musika ket kwalipikado nga member ti PhilHealth. Para tinanan ang informasyon, tumawag o text kayo ti 0936-920-9941. When I message na kami ti Facebook page na Northside Doctor Hospital Advanced Wound Care Clinic. Anya pa lang tiro orayom, ikam ti chance sa tasugat mo nga lumaing babaen ti Advanced Wound Care Clinic.
Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives. Ti kooperatiba ano bayagin nga nagseserbi kadang ti Ilocano iti amyanan a Luzon. Ti kooperatiba ang magpapaay ti serbisyo, benepisyo, ken mangisakit kariti empleyado ken miyembro na. Ti Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives wano NSCC ket adon tinatulungan na. Babayan med iti namayat alangin-langin ken kooperasyon dagiti miyembro ken mangimatmaton. Adon tinaturoasan ti kooperatiba. Adupay dagiti nainayon ang kasdek akas ti NSCC Farm, Chicharon Processing Facility, Macro Laboratory, kastameten ti NSCC Plaza ken NSCC Business Center. Isungan niya pelang ter orayem makikaptengkan iti kadakilan a kooperatiba iti probinsya. Di Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives sumana NSCC.